following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Blowing out of the backfield, exploding down the sideline.
This is Hangin' with the Boys, presented by Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings. Now, your hosts, Nate Newton, Kurt Daniels, Jesse Holly, and Shannon Gross.
Jesse ho, Nate ho, Kurt ho. That's three hoes, ho, ho, ho. The final show before Christmas. Thank you, Wingstop, for bringing us this holiday show. Thank you to SWBC Mortgage for sponsoring. Good to have you back and see you in the festive season. Everybody's got their Miller Lite sweaters on. Looks like my little box froze up for some reason, but you know what? I'm just going to keep on talking because hopefully you can hear me. So, welcome to the show,
Deck the
fellas.
halls with balls of holly. Let's go, man.
I was waiting for that to come.
Oh,
Let's go.
Hey, y'all, I'm going to tell you a little secret. I tried to get on early with Kurt and sell y'all down the room for yesterday's show. He said, Nate, I heard you too.
Y'all under the bus, but
I tried. He got me, man. I'm like, oh boy.
Kurt, I was on your side. I said, no, I'm gonna let Kurt. I'm a stand-up dude, Kurt. I'm not gonna say you up the river like that, man. Kurt,
I appreciate that. I'm glad.
what happened to you yesterday? Where were you?
Well, we originally, my in-laws live outside.
Look into the camera. Talk to us straight up now.
For Christmas. So the original plan was we would meet them halfway at a park somewhere outside, and we'd exchange gifts, have a little dinner, that sort of thing. So it was supposed to happen today, this afternoon. We were going to leave right after the show, meet them late afternoon. Well, schedules got changed around for whatever reason, and they said, okay, we're doing it yesterday at early afternoon, which means I had missed the show. And I told my wife, I was like, I got things going on. I had the show. I had a meeting in the morning. I had something scheduled later in the afternoon. I don't think this is good for me. And she gave me the old, well, you don't have to go, and you know what that meant. So
the setup.
Of course I went. Yeah. But,
Look into the camera as you talk to us, Kurt.
yeah. So we were listening to the show on our drive down, and I heard you all talking about head of the household. So you'll like this now. So I got this hat in the mail last week. Love this hat. Been waiting on this hat. Love the hat. Wife comes up to me. She goes, you mind if I give that hat to my dad, and I'll get you a new one. And I'm like, head of the household. I'm like, no, I like this hat. I've been waiting on this hat. I love this hat. We can order your dad a new one, and he can get it after Christmas. No big deal. And so my father-in-law got a new hat, and I've got to order one. So that's head of the household.
Kurt, you gotta put your foot down at some point in time, man. Come on.
He did. He put it down on that gas pedal.
On the gas?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I got to clarify. I do like my in-laws. They're great people. I get along with them, all that. So this is not about them. This is about
nobody
the
likes
household.
Nobody likes in-laws, Kurt. Nobody likes in-laws.
No, I do. They're good people.
You know what
Wow,
Kurt is?
it's just amazing, man. Wow.
Kurt is that guy. We were talking about this, I think, a few weeks ago. A group of us that there's an auto manufacturer commercial that we won't mention on this show because they're a conflicting sponsor. But the guy buys two vehicles for Christmas and he walks out. And one's like an SUV and one's a truck. And the guy walks out, and he's like, I got his Christmas present. She's like, oh my God, I love it. He's like, that one's mine. And she's like, I love it. He's like, okay. And I'm like, there's no man in this world that would sacrifice his truck because his wife, Kurt is that guy. His wife Lauren would be like, I really like that. He'd be like, well, congratulations, you got a new pickup. I'll just take the car, the family car.
Happy wife, happy life. To me, it's not worth the battle sometimes. So
here's a conversation. Here's the conversation that I had with one of my good friends, and it's not basically that women they run the household or it's happy wife, happy life. I think men just come to a point in time where you give up. You have no more fight left in you. Like you're
fight is gone.
Like you're like waving the white flag, and you're just saying like, no, she doesn't really want it. Like she doesn't really run this. I don't have any more fight left in me. So that's where it comes to. It comes down to, because I want to say this: women, you don't run the show. Men just give up. We give up. We just don't want to fight anymore. Like we've decided to lay down our swords. And we just say, you know what, man? The hell with it. You got it. Just whatever you want to do. And so, people from the outside looking in, they'll be like, oh no, no. We're just tired. We're tired.
Yeah.
We don't want to fight. We don't want to argue. We don't have any. We've lost our dog. Okay, we've lost it. We've lost a dog.
The only thing that has happened is. With most good wives like Kurt's, mine, and soon to be Shannon's, because it's going to take a little time, is once they find out what you like, they don't step on that no more. What you truly like, they don't step on it no more. And so
they infringe on it. They infringe on it.
Not mine. Not mine. She don't. It's, what I truly like, she be like, man, this is so small to what I'm finna take over in this crib.
I got everything else. Else.
Because we don't, unless you are that possessive guy about everything, which I'm not. I only care about a few things. Getting in my old ugly truck or having me a dog every now and then, and traveling. And she likes to travel, so. My life is smooth, man, because all the other stuff pertaining to the house, and who cares, man? Going to see the relatives, I'm down with going to see the relatives, if they got some money in their pocket. But if they broke, she won't get an argument then. Kurt people got money, so they all right.
No, but I don't know. That's for sure. No, she's good. I better clarify that too, or I might get in trouble again. So.
But yeah, man. But I'm telling you, man. What got me laughing was I was going to sail y'all down the river, and Kurt cut me off. Oh, I heard y'all on the radio.
Yeah.
I think men get smart too. I think men start. You start playing it. You play it out in your head. You go, okay. Is this one the one that's worth me going to battle for? Because if I do this, it's a chess game. If I do this, this is going to happen. This is going to happen. This is going to be said. This is going to be the argument. Do I really want to go through all this just for this hat? No, I'm going to wait. And I'm going to save the battle for like when my video game time gets infringed upon. Then I'm going to go to battle.
Right.
That's what I'm going to fight for, because that's my stuff. So I'll save this. You can have, like Nate said, protect your stuff, and then everything else you can give up except what's important to you, because it just ain't worth it. So
that
good
sounds
for you,
like
Kurt.
give up to me. That
See,
sounds like
the great thing about it. No, see, Shannon and Kurt.
Listen, man, you can dress it up however you want to dress it up.
No, Jesse, you are single.
I was going to say, you're the only
You are single.
Here, so.
We're not taking no advice from a single dude. Okay?
That is give up.
Stop.
Give up.
Hey, Kurt. Hey, Chris Bean, give him some insider information to help him. All right, Chris?
He's giving up, too.
He's not giving up. Look, I'm going to tell you here, Jesse. Before we move on and Shannon's
let's talk football. The one thing that you guys have left. Let's talk football. Let's do that.
Oh, that you guys. Now he's telling us we're you guys because he's a single guy. We don't want to hear your garbage. Gospel.
Kurt, we want you to read something later on in the show, maybe in the last segment. We want you to read Jerry's light on comment, because I think after me butchering it and trying to read it yesterday, I confused the hell out of Nate and Jesse, and I think Nate thought about it for a day, and now he has an opinion on it.
I went and looked it up on these shows, and I got the whole gist of it, Shannon. You stumped me. I went and listened to every show after that until they played it, and I said, okay, now I got it. You got me yesterday. And when you had Jesse scratching his chin, I was like, I know I'm in trouble.
All right, we'll get to that later. But now, to leave the show off, before we get to Cowboys Eagles, Kurt dropped me a note, and you said Kellen Moore's being linked to a certain head coaching job, Kurt?
Yeah, I guess, Boise State, he's a hero up there, and I guess they might be looking for a coach, and I guess his name's been brought up as the head coach there. And Todd Archer with ESPN had tweeted this out, and some think he's going to have some other offers as far as head coaching positions, and he's in the last year of his contract with the Cowboys. So I don't know, guys. We just went through a weird offseason with a new defensive coordinator trying to install some things. Would it set the Cowboys back again if they had to go do it all over again on the offensive side? Would it be worse, or would McCarthy just step in and take control?
You know where I'm going with this.
Freaky Mike.
You know where I'm going. I'm saying, come on, boys. Do us a solid and offer the Wiz kid the job. Do us a solid. And you know something that I was thinking, and this was I wasn't on the porcelain throne when I was thinking this. I was actually driving when I was thinking this, because Kellen Moore is coming into the final year of his contract. He hasn't been extended yet. They didn't give him an extension. This is his final year of the contract. And I started thinking to myself, man, why didn't Mike McCarthy come in and jump right into being offensive coordinator like he's been at every other stop? And a part of me started thinking, well, because it was Kellen Moore's final year in his contract, and Jerry maybe didn't want to have to cover that bill as a guy going elsewhere and still being paid on the payroll. Did they want to kind of play it out to see if there was some growth in this year, and maybe that it could work out? But I just think maybe this was like kind of the trial year for Kellen Moore under Mike McCarthy's last year of this contract, and maybe they were going to move on from him next year anyway. But now that this job has come about, I think it's the perfect job for Kellen Moore. I think it's the absolute perfect job for Kellen Moore. Let him go to Boise State, really kind of just finite his coaching skills as a head coach, understand how to put practice plans together and personnel together and hire staff and recruiting and all that kind of stuff. Let him go and do that at a great place where he has history, and we can finally get Mike McCarthy to come and do what he, what I thought he was going to come here and do, and be the offensive coordinator.
Would it cause some, again, would it be more difficult if the offseason's all screwed up again and to bring in even him take over as a coordinator?
It's not going to be screwed up.
I hope not.
What we have to do as a unit, I'm talking about here on Hanging with the Boys, is to make sure if this dream come true, excuse me, not dream come true, but if this happens.
Yeah, dream. Yes.
If this happens, make sure no one that is connected. Make sure that no one who's connected to this team, I'm talking about the Hanging with, do not interview him for the next year. Do not touch this man, because we got something bad going on our interview process. All right, just don't touch him. Okay. Do not ask for an interview, okay?
All right.
All right. By the way, this is our last show of the week. Tomorrow, you guys are on a joint show at 9:30. Is that right, Jesse? You and Nate are together.
Yeah, it's gonna be us and a couple other guys. That word "joint" is kind of.
It's a combined show of a few different. Okay, sorry to throw that word around, Nate.
We got too many guys on this team, bro. So we don't want to make them think that they're gonna join us tomorrow.
Sorry to throw that word around. I'll be a little more selective in my verbiage. It's going to be a combined show of a mashup of sorts. So, you know what? Let's just take a break. I need to recover from that one. Let's take our first break. When we come back, we'll have more stuff on Hanging with the Boys.
Is your family a Cowboys family? Have you taken holiday photos at the Star? Was your wedding theme blue and silver? Have you convinced your kids them is spelled with a D? If so, every game day feels like a vacation to you, so treat it like one. Whether you're traveling to the game or watching from your favorite vacation spot, book a place to stay on Hotels.com. Proud partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Just like all of you, we at SeatGeek can't wait until we're back in the stands at full strength cheering on the Cowboys and singing along to our favorite songs again. We're using this time to make discovering, buying, and selling tickets to events in Dallas easier. Plus, every ticket purchased on SeatGeek is protected by our buyer guarantee, which means you'll get your money back or better if your event is canceled. Guaranteed. Download the SeatGeek app today, and when the time is right, let's go. SeatGeek.
Grab some OtterBox gear and get ready for Hanging with the Boys. From rugged venture coolers to tough as nails elevation tumblers, we've got what you need to keep your game day drinks frosty and your football feast ice cold. And with cases, screen protectors, and power accessories, you can defend your phone and stay connected to every play. Gear up at OtterBox.com and amp up the fun of every Cowboys game. That's OtterBox.com.
Dear, it's 1908. Don't you think we should get electricity?
And stop using candles to see at night.
It's just electricity lights up the room fast. It's more reliable than candles blowing out, and people seem to love it nationwide.
Well, candles are...
Dear, did you just run into the wall?
Nope. May I have a new candle, please?
Historically, switching to new technology is a no-brainer. Today, it's AT&T 5G. Fast, reliable, secure, and nationwide. Switch to AT&T 5G. It's not complicated. 5G requires compatible plan. May not be in your area. See att.com/5G for you for details.
Back to Hanging with the Boys.
Adjust your cleats, adjust your pads, even adjust your helmet, but seriously, don't adjust your underwear because once it's seen, it cannot be unseen. Kurt knows this. Tommy John's fabric keeps you cool and dry on the field or in the stands, and now they even have loungewear. Yes, sir, loungewear. Shop underwear at TommyJohn.com/Cowboys for 15% off your first order. TommyJohn.com/Cowboys. And before we get back to the show, I promised you yesterday that we were going to give something away for OtterBox, and we are going to do that right now. Check out the screen. That is the prize pack we're giving away. 2 OtterBox Venture 25 coolers, one plain and one with the Cowboys established 1960 logo on the top, an OtterBox Elevation 20 tumbler and an OtterBox Elevation 10 tumbler, Phone Soak 3, OtterBox Otter Spot wireless charger, and 2 free case cards is what we're giving away. It's an $800 value. All you have to do is go follow OtterBox and Dallas Cowboys on Twitter, then retweet the designated tweet that's up right now on the Cowboys Twitter account with the hashtag tailgating with OtterBox. All the instructions are there. Go check it out. It's a badass prize pack. It's really cool. If you want to see more, if you want to see information in the rules, go to DallasCowboys.com/tailgating with OtterBox. That is a awesome prize pack, tailgating, homegating kit that you can win for absolutely free, and we will send it out to you to your home if you are the winner. So go enter now. It's super simple, super easy. Thank you, OtterBox, for providing that. We're going to give another one away after Christmas at some point, so we'll let you know when that happens again. So go check it out. Thank you again, okay, so OtterBox.
OtterBox, call me. Call me.
Who won?
Jesse wants a deal.
You just
OtterBox.
You just said a super presentation there. Can we know who won? Do we know who won so we can brag about them and talk about them?
I will find that out when we select the winner, and we will call them out on the show.
You haven't yet. Okay, I was wondering because you said we're going to pick a winner.
Hopefully it is one of our listeners. I would love for one of our listeners
Kurt's relatives.
to win that.
Tell us where he or her lives so we can come by and see if we can't negotiate some of that stuff from OtterBox.
Yeah, because they're getting 2 coolers. Maybe you can get one of those coolers off of them. So there you go.
Both of them.
Hey, Chris, I don't know if you have these available or not, but we have some other photos. I don't know if we can get to those now or if we want to get to those later or if we can get to them at all. You can let me know. But at some point, maybe we can have those in the show. And if you look at the screen right now, that is a very familiar face that is a hoeing it up. And someone dressed up as Santa Claus at some point in their life. And we're showing those right now on Hanging with the Boys podcast. It looks like, Kurt, that doesn't look like you.
No.
Is it you, Kurt? No.
It's me.
Jesse, it looks like that person might not be you. Looks like they might be a little bit out of your your class. Your class.
I'm trying to look at Chris' screen behind, because I don't have the link. So what? Who is that? Who is that?
I'm pretty sure it's not Chris, and it's not me, and it's not Jesse, and it's not Kurt.
Wow.
It looks like it might be Nate Newton underneath that beard and that hat.
So where y'all got me at, dog? Where y'all caught me at?
You're dressed up as Santa Claus, and you're talking to some kids, and then you have a grown man in your lap in one of those photos. Like, when was this, and where was this?
I don't remember, man. I don't remember. I did a lot of those in my days, man.
You
just
had a lot of grown men.
Being a Dallas Cowboy.
You had a lot of grown men in your lap. And you don't remember
I was trying to cater to everybody. I was begging for everything like you was, Jess. I ain't know what they had. Hey, come sit here.
Listen, I got levels to my begging. Okay, this levels.
No, you rowdy type begging. For money, you'll do anything. You rowdy type begging.
Ain't gonna be no grown ups in my lap. I ain't begging like that.
Maybe he was an owner or something. I don't know.
There you go.
Different story.
Nate Claus. Nate in the Christmas spirit. Good seeing old Nate dressed up. Kurt, where did you find those photos?
Oh, they're in our archives. It looks like some charity event that Nate played Santa Claus for. A lot of kids and stuff. I'm guessing that the adult on his lab must have been one of the organizers or something, but they're great.
Yeah, old Saint Nate. Old Saint Nate.
Saint Nate. I like it. All right.
Post a couple of them on our Twitter, on the Hanging with the Boys Twitter feed there.
We do. I'll see if I can make that happen. All right, fellas, let's talk a little football before the show gets completely away from us. Cowboys haven't been swept by the Eagles since 2011. Before that, it was 2006. How important is it? Does it matter if you get swept by a division rival? Is that a big deal, or is that just you lost 2 games to an opponent, or is there more to it than that?
You don't want nobody to ever own you. At least I didn't. I don't want nobody to ever own me. Oh, they own us, man. They want to beat us twice. The first one wasn't no accident. They were better than us, and they proved it the second time. You know, I always had a little pride about it. You know, and if they did whoop us twice, I was gonna beat that dude in front of me at least one of those times. I just can't. I can't stand it, man. I just don't want to be beat. I don't.
Yeah, I would think that at this point, McCarthy's trying to build the culture for next year, a winning culture, and so especially with a division rival, you do want to kind of show that the first time they met was maybe a fluke. You had DiNucci playing, that sort of thing. So, I think it's kind of a big deal that it's not just another loss; it's a loss to a division rival, which carries a little more weight.
And to add on to what Kurt said, not only is it a loss, it's a division loss. And it essentially knocks you and makes you mathematically eliminated from the playoffs. So it's kind of like, the double, triple whammy. Because you now lose to a division opponent where you got swept in the season, which is always a bad thing because they'll have bragging rights till you play again the next time. And then that's kind of almost that's the casket closing. That's the people wheeling you out of the church and the funeral people lowering you into the ground for your season mathematically being over. And you don't want it. You don't want it to come from a division opponent. And especially the Eagles, because I would say the Eagles.
Just lower them into the ground.
It's just a slow lower in there. And I would say over the last couple of years, when you're talking about competitiveness, it's been more so Cowboys, Philly have been more of a rival than any. You're a rival with all the Giants and the Washington football team as well, but it's been a little bit more competitive with Philly the last couple of years. So, you don't want them to send you home. You don't want them to send you home like that. You want to battle and hopefully still fight one more week and see if the chips can fall your way. But it's going to be a very tall task for the Cowboys this weekend.
You think so?
You're going to be without Xavier Woods. You're going to be without the big log. You're going to be without
the human log ain't playing.
You're going to be without Leighton Vander Esch. He's not playing. So you got a lot of guys. You already have a bad defense. And then you have a lot of guys who aren't going to be playing. You don't know the status of Zeke, whether he'll be playing or not. And Nate'll tell you, he's in love with Fletcher Cox and those guys up front. So trying to establish something with those guys. And, no Carson Wentz. You got a young, spry Jalen Hurts, who gives you that double threat. He gives you that double threat where he can pass from the pocket, but when it breaks down, and you watch how he played the last couple of weeks, he's playing some competitive football. And, what's one of the things that we've had a hard time with, running backs and quarterbacks who are athletic enough to be in the open field, we've had a hard time with those quarterbacks. And so Jalen Hurts is playing some inspired football. Philly sound like they're playing some inspired football. Guys like Alshon Jeffrey is getting involved, and other guys are getting involved. So it's the Cowboys going to have to bring everything they got to beat this Philadelphia team.
And go ahead, Kurt. No.
Well, you talk, those three guys they've been weak up the middle all year, it seems like, and now you're even weaker to a point. And I don't know, I've heard talk that, we've said that some of these young guys need experience. Are you going to roll out Sean Lee, Joe Thomas, or do you give guys like Francis Bernard a shot? Or are you going to put in a Darian Tomlinson, who's maybe not the future at safety, and give a younger guy a shot? I mean, how are they going to approach this?
Well, it's basically the next guy in line. You're trying to win. So if Sean Lee give you the better chance, you're trying to win because we keep talking about that slight chance at the playoffs. So you roll out your better guys. It's not much. It ain't like a stud been missing for the year, and he's what a perfect time to get this guy back. Yeah. So boy, it hurts me to have to talk bad about my Cowboys, man. It really does. So I'm just gonna be quiet and let Jesse talk.
Because that's what we need. More Jesse.
You always need more of Jesse. More of Jesse is never a bad thing. More of me doing whatever it is I am doing is a good thing.
You can tell this dude hung around Mike Irvin. This dude done hung around too much of Mike Irvin, boy.
It's the wide receiver in us, baby. It's the wide receiver in us.
You know what? I'm not right very often on this show, so whenever I am right, I'm going to talk about it. And I specifically remember when this was a really bad football team at the beginning of the year, I told you guys, no matter how bad they are, it's going to come down to the last two games of the season. The Philadelphia game is going to have playoff implications. And here we are. And I tell you what, man, it would be just like not only the Dallas Cowboys, but 2020 for them to beat the Eagles this week and the Washington football team to lose to the Panthers, and this all comes down to the following Sunday in New York. That would not surprise me one bit, man. Fletcher Cox will be back from COVID. Oh my goodness! Can you imagine?
The last few years, though, what's been scary the last few years? We've always said that it's going to come down to Philadelphia, and Philadelphia always, for some reason, beat us.
Beats us. Yep.
So maybe this year could be something different. Maybe we can be that team that comes out victorious, man. And
you wouldn't want to pick the year where we have the worst football team to say this can be the year we beat a team.
What I'm saying is Jalen's coming home. I'm talking about Jalen Hurts, so he's gonna be pumped. And if we, if we can get him geeked and psyched like we had the Cardinals quarterback coach for a quarter and a half, give him pumped, maybe he can throw us a few. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he can throw a few picks or fumble or something. Who knows?
Nate, I'm proud of you. You knew where the game was this week. I am so proud of you.
Man, you Shannon. I'm patting myself on the back. I got a little Jesse in me. Wow. When I said that, you noticed my eyes kind of lit up like, is we home or is it?
Your Madden awareness rating went up about 12 points this week.
Yes,
so good for you.
Yes, sir.
Good for you.
Thank you.
All right, let's take our last break. Let's get back into Cowboys Eagles. Kurt, grab that quote from Jerry and see if you can make it make more sense than I did yesterday, because I just absolutely murdered it. Let's get back to a break, and then we'll be back with Hanging with the Boys right after this commercial break.
Just like all of you, we at SeatGeek can't wait until we're back in the stands at full strength cheering on the Cowboys and singing along to our favorite songs again. We're using this time to make discovering, buying, and selling tickets to events in Dallas easier. Plus, every ticket purchased on SeatGeek is protected by our buyer guarantee, which means you'll get your money back or better if your event is canceled. Guaranteed. Download the SeatGeek app today, and when the time is right, let's go. SeatGeek.
It's game day. You know what that means. First, kebab prep. Steak, pepper, onion, steak, pepper, onion. Next, a counterclockwise lap around the room. Now the lucky grease-stained jersey goes on. And lastly, the dance. You know the one. This is a game day ritual no matter where you are. Whether you're traveling to the game or watching from your favorite vacation spot, book a place to stay on Hotels.com and keep the tradition alive and well. Hotels.com, proud partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Grab some OtterBox gear and get ready for hanging with the boys. From rugged venture coolers to tough as nails elevation tumblers, we've got what you need to keep your game day drinks frosty and your football feast ice cold. And with cases, screen protectors, and power accessories, you can defend your phone and stay connected to every play. Gear up at OtterBox.com and amp up the fun of every Cowboys game. That's OtterBox.com.
Dear, it's 1908. Don't you think we should get electricity?
And stop using candles to see at night.
It's just electricity lights up the room fast. It's more reliable than candles blowing out, and people seem to love it nationwide.
Well, candles are...
Dear, did you just run into the wall?
Nope. May I have a new candle, please?
Historically, switching to new technology is a no-brainer. Today, it's AT&T 5G. Fast, reliable, secure, and nationwide. Switch to AT&T 5G. It's not complicated. 5G requires compatible plan. May not be in your area. See att.com/5G for you for details.
Back to Hanging with the Boys.
If you're craving AT&T Stadium's famous Cowboys cheesesteak nachos or Cowboy Rito when you're watching the Cowboys play at home, bring your favorite stadium fare to you. Place your order online for pickup at AT&T Stadium every week this season. Check out the menu at attstadium.com/at-home to place your order and eat like you are at the stadium. All right. Kurt, before we talk Cowboys Philly, do you have that quote pulled up?
Yeah, I'll just read the start of it. Jerry Jones was quoted as saying on the Fan, "I call it the light theory. When you walk out of a room, you ought to turn the light off if there's nobody in it. Because all you're doing is keeping a light on for the rats and the mice. There's nobody in there to see the light, so you turn that light off." And he goes on and on and on. And I wish I could explain this to you, but I think, he's talking about the negotiations with Dak and how you kind of have to balance the salary cap with paying one guy and paying the guys around him. But I can't guarantee that's the total definition of what he said. But interesting.
Nate, you said you researched.
This is a perfect example. This is a perfect example of Jerry Jones doing what he does best, using the media to negotiate. And he's making it very, very clear. I think he's starting to make it himself clear on how we're going to do things, what we're going to do, who we're going to do them with. And he's starting to draw that line in the sand, or he's starting to have those, I'm going to get ahead of the media curve and start saying things in the media, because right now, Jerry's in a bad light when it comes to Dak Prescott, if we're being honest here. Because after year 3, Dak was eligible for a contract extension, and you could have gotten Dak for $25 million a year. He would have happily taken that. Stephen gambled for the next 2 years, and they lost. And they lost bad. And then it comes on the heel of now Dak, this feel-good story, who everyone, most part, I don't say everyone, but a large majority of the people like him. Then he goes out with this injury, and the last thing you see of Dak Prescott is that crying image of him being carted off the field. And that touched the heartstrings of a lot of Cowboy fans. And so they're on that, damn, Jerry, you should have paid him. Especially how they see how this season is playing out. They're all like, man, you should have paid him, because look at this, man. We might not have this opportunity again. So kind of Jerry's on the outside looking in when it comes to this whole thing. So he's trying to do what he does best, using the media to kind of start that negotiations via media to hey, here's what's coming ahead with this whole contract thing with Dak Prescott. We know what he wants, but if you guys want a better team, here's how we got to cut the lights. What is this? Cut the lights off and on in the room to make sure that we leave a little bit of fat on the bone for other people.
Look at Jesse with the effects.
Jess, wow, the gospel back in action.
Sharp.
Yes, sir, man. Raise the roof with the gospel.
I was kind of surprised by Jerry's other quote that Jane Slater tweeted out, that he said that he was surprised how bad the team was going to be. He thought it was going to be one of the better teams they had. And he actually said, well, that's part of the problem. We've got a general manager here who doesn't understand it wasn't one of the best teams we've ever had.
Kurt, stop. Don't let Jerry do this to you, Kurt. He's doing it to you. This is the 8 Mile theory. And you're probably saying, Jesse, what are you talking about? What is the 8 Mile theory? There's a movie called 8 Mile with Eminem. And the climactic part of this movie is when B-Rabbit finally gets to the rap battle. And throughout the whole movie, he's with this other crew, and the leader is Papa Doc. He's the rap freestyle leader of 8 Mile. And throughout this movie, Papa Doc and his crew beat up B-Rabbit. They had sex with his girlfriend and all these things. He's poor, can't keep a job. He literally lives in a trailer park with his mom. So he gets to this final battle with Papa Doc, the championship round, and it's B-Rabbit versus Papa Doc. And what Eminem does is he goes out and he says, I am white trash. I do live in a trailer park. You did smash my girl. You did beat up my crew. So he says all this bad stuff about himself and leaves Papa Doc nothing to say bad about him. So I call this the 8 Mile theory. Jerry's now coming out saying, you know what? We are bad. And it's the general manager's fault. So he's like, I'm going to, before you can say it, which everybody's already saying, I'm going to 8 Mile myself so that Papa Doc and the rest of you guys can't have any more dirt on me, because it's like when I say, I know I'm a scrub, I know I'm a jag, so when you say it, it doesn't have any validity because I've already called myself a scrub. That's what Jerry's doing. Do not fall for it, Kurt. Don't fall for it.
That makes sense.
Wow, Jess, I just love how you just swayed Kurt right back into the right side of the lane. Listen, that is a great job.
That's what the gospel will do. The gospel is the
spoken
same
truth
today, yesterday, and forevermore. I just got to make sure I'm delivering the truth.
You know what?
That's it. Just raise your hands and say hallelujah. Say hallelujah. Hallelujah.
As we're talking about this, you are so right. You were so right in nicknaming him the gospel, because he is like the gospel, whether you believe or not. And you may not want to believe. If you listen to it long enough,
come on, Jesus.
If you listen to it long enough, it starts making sense, and it'll make you a believer. It's like the kids that don't want to go to church, and their parents make them go over and over and over, and then finally they get saved because they've listened to it long enough.
Bill Parcells will put up a sign at least twice a year representing Jesse. Don't eat the cheese.
Don't eat the cheese. Don't drink the
just
Kool-Aid.
sway back and forth with me, man. Let the spirit be moved, man. I'm telling you this truth. This truth will stay the same.
But I tell you like this right here, man. I tell you like this right here. When I heard it, and I knew exactly who he was talking about. I'm like, this is about Dak. And I told y'all a year or so ago, I say, one thing I do know, fellas, tagging franchise quarterbacks is never good. I said it 2 years ago, last year, and I'm saying it again this year. Tagging quarterbacks, especially ones that are prospering within your system, that is never good.
Speaking of quarterbacks, last time these two teams faced each other, two different quarterbacks played in the game. Ben DiNucci for the Cowboys, Carson Wentz for the Eagles. Now you got Jalen Hurts is going to play against Andy Dalton. How big of a difference is Andy Dalton going to make this week? He's proven that he can take this team and not make mistakes and do enough to win the game. Is he going to be able to do that against Fletcher Cox, Brandon Graham, and this Eagles defense?
He definitely gives them a better chance. I think they'd probably win that first game if he's there. I mean, DiNucci was just kind of in over his head. So, he's got to have some protection. The offensive line's now been together, a couple of games, and they haven't been awful. I mean, they've been pretty solid. So you hope that, of course, they haven't faced Fletcher Cox and Brandon Graham. But
Fletcher Cox didn't play very well the last time they hooked up, because our boy was getting him. The best player on the field was getting him. And they was running. Then all of a sudden, your offensive coordinator wanted to call the triple reverse Lindy off the diving board. He got a tackle and spurred him.
Come on, Boise State, do us a solid, baby.
Yeah, so Fletcher Cox wants some get back. I promise. He looking like, hey, the president ain't there. That Zach Martin dude ain't there. I'm finna go straight ahead. So
it's gonna be a test for sure. You more worried about him or Brandon Graham on the outside?
They both. Yeah, they both bringing it, man. They both bringing it. You just got to scheme it up right, and because Derek Barnett is finding his wheels. He got 4.5. They got like 44 sacks. Fletcher Cox with 6.5. The other kid with 4.5. So there's a bunch of guys with 2s and 3s, and so they doing okay. They secondary is dicey. Jess, they secondary is dicey. So our receivers, boy, if we can just hold them off a little bit, our receivers should eat these boys up.
Amen. And we're at home, and it's a fast track. No, you don't have to worry about all that, that Philadelphia cold wind or anything like that. So if you can just hold up a little bit, Tony Pollard, you've been doing a great job all year long with picking up having the blitz pickup. You got to continue to do that. That's going to be important for this game. You got to continue to do it because they're going to bring pressure. They're going to try to get Andy Dalton off his spot, make him have to throw the ball sooner than he wants to throw it, not allow the routes to develop down the field. It's going to have to come out of his hands quick because they're going to make sure that they're bringing an extra guy to get those to get Andy off. Yeah, to get Andy Dalton off his game.
Do you and Jim Schwartz? No, go ahead on, Kurt. Go ahead on. You can ask a better question than me.
Do they need to get Amari Cooper more involved? I mean, he didn't do much the first Philly game. He didn't do much last week. I mean, is it important to get him going, or if they're winning, if he's opening up other guys, does it really matter?
It's only here's the thing about getting the ball to your Michael Irvin types or your Odell Beckham types or your Amari Cooper types. It only matters when it's not happening, right? And you're having a bad passing day because you're saying, well, you got this guy out here. You don't necessarily have to get him going. You have to get the passing game going. And once you get the passing game going, yes, there are a certain amount of targets that should go his way. But if because of who he is makes the safety roll coverage and now you're getting the best cornerback plus safety help and they're kind of doing some funky deals on his side, then those other guys have to eat. And then when the opportunity presents itself, because it'll come a time where personnel and formation and down and distance will come about and you're saying, now I get the ball to number 19. Now it's time for Amari to get the ball. But you have to get the passing game going, not necessarily, Amari Cooper. Now, what I don't want to see is Amari Cooper blocking on screen plays and other guys doing triple reverses. No, save those reps and give those reps to Amari Cooper. But you don't necessarily have to get him going. Get the passing game going. Get good throws, quality throws. Get the ball to those receivers with space and let them do what they do. It's going to play itself out where you have opportunities to get Amari Cooper the ball. And 9 times out of 10, he usually comes through for you in a major way.
So what you're saying is we can get Amari going, but we really going to rock this thing.
If you get the passing game going.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, so I'm agreeing with you. If we can get Amari going, it's going.
So you're saying Amari is a passing game? Okay.
Yeah, because one thing I've learned, Jesse, you have told me this countless of times when I've tried to go against Amari. And then we have other guests, and Shannon to say we have other guests. And I'm saying to myself, okay, Jesse played this position. He's watched. Everybody that comes on says the same thing, but they're a little more adamant than you. And Shannon to tell you, we had a young guy on that played special teams with Barry Church this past week, and he was adamant about it. I'm like, okay, these guys know this. They either played against a guy like this or they see. We got to get That's why I think you need a coordinator that knows. Everybody has a stud receiver. And sometimes that stud receiver has to get a special attention, not from the defense, but from your coordinator. Sometimes, not all the time, Jess. I know this, not all the time.
Right.
It is a team. But sometimes he's like, man, this dude here, I don't care how I got to do it. This dude is going to be the man. Sometimes it got to happen, man. And it never happens for Amari. Not this year.
Nope. Kurt, We got about a minute or two left. What's your prediction and what's your keys to the game?
I'm actually going against the Vegas odds here. I'm going to pick the Cowboys. I think I like them at home. I think they're starting to show a little something, and hopefully they can kind of keep Jalen Hurts. He'll be wired up. They can keep him contained. And they need turnovers. That's probably going to be the key. They need the turnovers. So I take them like, what's that?
Go ahead. I was going to say, for those of us that aren't degenerate gamblers like you, what are the Vegas odds?
I think it's only like 2 or 3, something. It's pretty close. So
okay.
In Dallas,
yeah, I'll take it. No, Philly's actually favored. So, okay. But I'll take them like 28-24, something like that. I think they can pull it off.
24. All right, 28-24 Cowboys. Nate, point or half a point?
Don't try to downplay my excitement for these Dallas Cowboys in these last 2 or 3 weeks, okay?
Okay.
Cowboys going out there to whoop some. I want to cuss, but I'm not. The Cowboys going to do that thing, all right? I'm going to let the gospel have it. Y'all know how I feel.
All right. Jesse.
I told you guys the Cowboys had to win 2 games in a row for me to bet on them again. Well, they won 2 games in a row. I'm taking Cowboys 24, Philadelphia 20. Let's go!
Let's go. I like it. You know what? I'm with Kurt. I think it's really. I think this game's really simple. I think these are 2 very comparable teams. I think neither one of them are very good. I think they're trying to figure it out on different sides of the ball. I think the Cowboys win the turnover battle again. I think they win the game. I think it's that simple. If they win the turnover battle, they win the game. I'm going to take Cowboys 27, Eagles 24 in a nail biter. Cowboys win the turnover battle. They win the game. Giants lose. Washington football team loses. They head into the Giants game for all of it on the line on next Sunday. Let's go, boys. Merry Christmas, Kurt.
He 8-miled it. You heard him say both teams are. You 8-miled it. Don't take Jesse's theory and run with it, Shannon.
Kurt, tell the in-laws we said Merry Christmas. Nate, good seeing you. Jesse, good seeing you. Thank you, Miller Lite, for these sweaters. You can buy these online and be on the lookout for Nate and Jesse's sweaters somewhere on eBay. Jesse will probably tweet about it because they both left the tags on it, so I'm sure they're going to try to make $1 after this. You know how those guys are. We'll be back next week after Christmas. Have a Merry Christmas. Cowboys victory on Sunday. Everybody. Let's go. Y'all have a good one.
Merry Christmas, Mother Cross.
What?
Mother Gross. Who was Mother Cross?
Mother Cross. Mother Cross. I'm sorry.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!